Well, my name is Orlando Colbert. I'm not from Florida, just because my name is Orlando. I'm originally from Memphis, Tennessee in 2015. And we got here in June of that year, and I just had nowhere to go. And I had my dog, and I wasn't finna get rid of my dog to get a place to live. So we would just stay in my car and sleep at rest stops in different places. I love you. Yes, sir, it is difficult to find a place to live with a dog. Um, I don't know if that just, have anything to do with me as a person or, just the people not trusting me because of who I am and or nothing like that. But you don't ever want to be homeless. I mean, you don't, man. You don't ever want to be homeless because you. Sorry. You just don't want to be homeless. You don't want to not have a home or place to go and stay. This lady I met, she knew I was sleeping in my car, and I love you. She was doing some survey on how many people visit Montana or something, and she was at the rest stop, and she saw all the stuff in my car, and she asked me if I was homeless, and I told her yes, and she told me about HRDC.
My name is Amelia Mushard, and I am a Housing First Program Coordinator and Housing Advocate at the HRDC here in Bozeman, Montana. The HRDC is a community action agency, so we work with a variety of clientele. In my case, I work with folks who are at risk of homelessness or who are currently homeless in our community. So Orlando was just came in our doors and was asking for assistance because he had heard that we could help him try to find housing. And so he set up with me to take a look at what we might be able to do.
Amelia helped me do the application. She helped me do the paperwork, and I still work with her because if it wasn't for her, I don't know what would have came up for us being able to stay strong and try to keep a place to live. I thought I was going to have to give my dog back to the Humane Society because I just didn't have food to feed him with because I was giving him people food, and now I can't give him people food no more, but I was giving him people food, and that was, not the right thing to do.
I think one of the things about working with the homeless is every story is different. I think you see a lot of folks who's, an event has happened in their life that has springboarded the current situation. And in Orlando's case, that had a lot to do with it. In his case, there was family health, and he took it upon himself to help his mother, whose health was failing, and chose to go out of state to assist her. What that meant is when he came back to our community, he no longer had his home because he had to give that up. He couldn't maintain the cost of that while he was helping his mom.
But she was just a blessing, man. She was one of those people that just didn't look at me as being an African American. She looked at me as being a person, and that's all I ask from people. That's all I ask. I can't ask no more. I know because you can't take away grace.
One of the great things about Orlando is that he is a go-getter, and so we sat down and talked about the different options that he might have, and he really took it upon himself to go out and pick up those applications so that we could sit down together and complete them and fill them out in a way that would give him a yes. The better we can put an application together, the more likely it is that a landlord will rent to someone. With our program, we will always inspect a unit to make sure that what we're doing is helping someone into a place that's habitable. And so that was the first time I met Pepsi, and he's a good dog.
This is my roommate, and I would not take another roommate over him any day. His rent is paid for, his utility is paid for, and he's the best roommate I can have. And I really, really need him in my life right now. And that's all I want. I don't want a whole lot. I don't want the picket fence, the brand new car, and all of that. You know, I just want a decent place to live to where I could share my place with my dog. That's all I want, man. It's a decent place to live.